Do you know your body well enough? Is the question that I have for you today. And I'm not just talking about gym, hydration, and diet, very important, but do you take care of your body enough to know why you can't attract money or love or relationships, or why you have a creative block, or why you have a lack of confidence, all of that? Believe it or not, it has a lot to do with your body. So, today I am going to be talking about chakras, a very misunderstood concept in my opinion. You are not just your body, okay? You have a body, you have a mind, you have a soul, and somewhere at the intersection of those three are chakras. Very important stuff to know if you want to live more in sync with all three of those and make them work together in harmony and live life easier, basically. So why not, right? One disclaimer that I want to give you is that you don't need to watch this video. You and your body already know and are intelligent enough to figure out the answers on your own. This is only for the purpose of people getting to know the signs and warnings and trying to basically understand how energy interacts with your physical body. So it might be helpful for somebody to use this information to spot. Okay. Otherwise, I would suggest sit alone, shut your eyes, talk to your body, and you can figure it out on your own. All of this is a moot point if you don't actually go and do the work and see how your body reacts to it. Now, you don't need to have all the information in the world about a specific topic to know enough to take care of your body, okay? So, what are chakras? They are highly vibrating balls of energy inside your body, but you can't see them because they are vibrating at a frequency which is imperceptible to human eyes. Chakras are either underactive or overactive, in my humble opinion. But listen to me, because I have figured out how to heal my body and use this information to get rid of physical ailments, of money blocks, of relationship blocks, of a lot of things. But don't listen to me, listen to your body actually. Anyway, regardless, the point is, there is nothing called a closed chakra or an open chakra. It's either underactive, it's vibrating and spinning basically at a slower speed, or it's overactive, it's on hyperdrive and it's going crazy, and yeah, it's just pulling energy from everywhere. So that is one thing I just wanted to get out of the way. How do they work? They work by constituting a specific function and a specific area of life in different parts of you, okay? And they use energy, the stuff we can't see. The world is energy, everything is energy. They use that, but not in a denser physical 3D form, okay? It is higher vibration and frequency of energy. Like, for example, we can't see ultrasound, we can't see infrared. We, like, there's a very small, teeny tiny scale of senses that we have and that we use to perceive the world, the physical world. So this energy is not on that scale. So now you have 7 chakras, the main ones. For the purpose of this conversation, let's just keep it at that. Otherwise, there's a lot more here, a lot more down there. So let us begin. This is you with a very cute smiley face, and these are your 7 chakras, okay? Now, let's start from the bottom, okay? Now, this is your root chakra, which is responsible for safety, security, money, basic survival needs like food, water, shelter, clothes, house, all of the basic physiological needs that you need to survive as a human, and also family, tribe, people that you spend time with. This makes up for your life on earth. Now, next we have sacral, which is your womb space, which is here. if we were to see physically, root would be at the base of your spine, and sacral is here, both for men and women. This is responsible for sex, pleasure, creation, very important, birthing children, obviously, for women, but also creation of ideas, of projects. It is also responsible for fun, for passion, for having zest in life. Okay. Next, we have solar plexus. You can call this the logical brain of your chakras. This is your ego, your not ego as in ego, but your the psychology definition of ego. Your thinking brain, your confidence, your the way that you show up in the world, the way that you carry yourself around other people, how you speak, how you think, the energy that you put out into the world, your drive, your action, your willpower to do things. That is your solar plexus. Next, we have the heart. Very, very important for two reasons. One, because it is the generator of your electromagnetic field, and two, because it sits at the center of all your chakras. So it is the culmination of everything. It is where all of these energies sort of integrate and go out into the world, because all of these energies, they come here and then they are spread out into the world. Your heart is responsible for feelings, for emotions, for the way that you love yourself, the way that you love other people, the way that you process emotions and feelings, what you manifest into your life, how open you are to life and the experiences that life has to offer. Your heart is the most precious energy system that you could take care of, because it is so very important. I cannot stress on it enough. Now, next, I quickly want to talk about one chakra that is not here, which is here between your heart and your throat. It basically connects your heart and your throat. This is important to know, because if you're in the creative field, or if you're a content creator, or if you're somebody who has creative passions or dreams, this basically helps you connect your heart, your voice, to your actual physical voice and how you express yourself in the world. The next one is the throat chakra, which is responsible for you speaking your truth, uh, taking your power, setting boundaries, expressing yourself, communicating with other people, how you show up, what you write, what you say. This is all about talking, speaking, putting yourself out there, expressing yourself, even if not physically speaking, being loud in existing as who you are. The next one is the third eye. Now, this is responsible for your intuition, your visualization skills, your imagination, your creativity, your vividness of how rich you experience life, your inner feeling of, that gut feeling that you get. This is responsible for all of that. Now, lastly, we have this one, which is your crown chakra, which is responsible for your connection to God and the divine or the universe or whatever you believe in. It could be religious, could be non religious, doesn't matter. Higher power, basically. Now, all of these combined, they make up your energy system. There's a lot more. Like this, for example, below this, you have one more chakra. I mean, a lot more, but here you have something called Earth Star, which connects you to Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, the connection that you have with the planet, with your groundedness, with your safety in who you are and the planet and how you treat the planet. Okay. Now, these also work in tandem. Okay. Your heart is at the center, remains there, but your root and your crown are connected. So, if one is imbalanced, it will show on the other. If you have a problem with safety, security, and money, you will lose a connection to God. You won't be able to concentrate on such a grand concept or something to believe in if you're struggling with these things. And it goes the other way around. If you're too focused on God, you will miss out on the materialistic pleasures of life. Now, this and this are connected, your sacral and your third eye. If you can't imagine enough or you can't trust your intuition enough, you won't be able to create properly. if you don't give into the pleasures of life, the fun in life, you won't be able to connect to your intuition properly. And these two are connected, because if you're not secure in your confidence, in your sense of self, in your intelligence, in how you show up in the world, you won't be able to speak your truth with confidence. And the other way around, if you have trouble with setting boundaries, with saying who you are is enough for you and not really giving a shit about other people, if you're bad with that, that will reflect in your sense of confidence, obviously. And then you have the heart, which is in the center, and which is an integration of all of that. Now, one personal observation slash theory that I have about all of this, that I have noticed with working on my energy system, is that they have some polarity of gender to them. I don't mean like boy girl polarity, I mean like divine polarity. So, here, your root chakra, earning money, materialistic pleasures, luxury in life, safety, security. I find this chakra to be a little masculine oriented in energy, because your masculine energy is the one that takes care of you and shows up for you and provides for you, right? Then, okay, let's just put M here. This sacral, F, feminine. Now, with men or women, your creativity, your passion, your fun, pleasure, sex is coming from a very feminine energy. So I find this to be a very feminine chakra. This is your solar plexus. This is your confidence, your ego, your thinking, analytical, logical brain, all of that. So I find this to be masculine. Heart, feminine. Feelings, emotions, safety in feeling all of it, processing all of it without shaming yourself or guilting yourself. Very safe, nurturing, loving heart, feminine. Okay. Throat, masculine. Speaking, doing, acting, presenting yourself to the world. The energy of doing, very masculine. Third eye, feminine. Trusting your gut, trusting your intuition, trusting the unknown instead of the logical, very feminine behavior. And this is all of it. Your connection to God. God is both feminine and masculine. So I find this to be an integration of everything. One very neat little trick I've picked up over the years is to see what energy is not balanced in my system by seeing which is overactive and which is underactive. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples, okay, for all of these chakras. And you notice if you know any people like that, or if that is something that is within you, and just try to see if you notice this pattern anywhere. Okay, this is just my personal observation about people and energy and all of that. Now, when one of these is in overdrive, like hyper active, working overtime, it'll spin so fast, like it'll move and vibrate so fast that it'll pull energy from the one above it. For example, when somebody who is too overly indulgent in material investments or material joys, like somebody who is only about the money and nothing else in life, they will miss out on the pleasure and fun in life or creativity and passion. Okay. Next, when somebody is overly giving of their creative energy, when somebody just exploits their creative energy and does not let this feminine chakra rest, or people who are escaping their real life by using sex, very important, they will usually miss out, or they will usually lack confidence, self esteem, willpower, and they won't be able to speak their minds properly. They will always have insecurity, just what I've noticed. Okay. Then people who are too extremely full of themselves in terms of ego, like the conversational meaning of ego, and too extremely focused on themselves and without a connection to the external world, other people, community, joy, they will always pull from their heart. Now, a very good example of this is narcissists, okay? Not the social media definition, but the psychology definition. They will always have a surplus amount of confidence, ego, unchecked ego, and that will pull from their heart, and that causes them to have no empathy for other people around them, no compassion, no connection, no joy in connecting with other people. Okay. Now, if your heart is in overdrive, which means you are overgiving, you have no boundaries, you don't know how to protect your heart, you don't know how to give to yourself, if you don't love yourself, if you give too much of yourself to other people, nothing to yourself, if you lack boundaries, and if you feel very deeply but you let it be used by other people around you, this will cause this to be drained, which means you will have no voice, you will not have boundaries, you won't be able to say no to people, you will be a people pleaser. Next, if this is running on overdrive, this is especially true for people who abuse a lot, who speak a lot, who gossip a lot, who talk a lot without any depth to it. This will always pull from intuition, which means these sort of people will lack inner clarity, inner guidance, intuition, um, a sense of right and wrong from their own moral compass. If your third eye is running on overdrive, which means people who view spirituality and God as me, and nobody and nothing else. A good example of this would be a lot of people on social media who spread a lot of false narratives about spirituality, who encourage people to only think of themselves and not think of a community, the planet, the world that we are here to serve, and God, divine, everything. They will always lack a grander purpose and alignment and rewards and success from the universe itself. Like they will be okay in serving themselves, but they will lack a grander vision of life, or just better capabilities as somebody spiritual who can move through life in a more connecting way to other people. Now, people who have this on overdrive, a very good example of this is priests and people in extreme religious capacity who are so disconnected from life. Now, I'm not saying that it's bad, everybody has to choose their own path, but I'm just saying when a lot of these people come down to earth and they're like, God is our only purpose, and this runs on overdrive, it's all God, 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 God. They do not experience any materialistic pleasures in life. They will never want to experience any materialistic pleasures in life, or family, or community, which is why I find that these sort of people move away from family, move away from um, connection and community, which is why there's abstinence and monkhood and all of that, which is fine, good. But in my opinion, I feel like if you've come down to this planet, you're here to experience all of these, not just one of these. Your purpose is to live a life whole and complete in all of these pleasures and joys of life. One question that I get a lot is about crystals and chakras. I personally do not use crystals anymore. I did when I was starting out, and I was not very sure about my energy and how to calibrate it and how to work with it properly. But with time, I've realized that all you need is here, like all your energy, all the charging and amplifying of energy that you do with crystals usually, you can probably do 1,000 times more with your own heart and brain combined. So I don't feel a need to use crystals personally. I do have them in my room, but now they're just for decoration. So that's that. But if you feel called to use crystals, please go ahead. They do have a purpose if you know how to use them properly. And it's not like they did not help me at all when I was just starting out. Honestly, you have everything here. So relax. No need. Nothing on the external world can give you or provide you with any sort of information, knowledge, help, advice, solution, energy, healing, anything that you don't already have. That is my number one hashtag tagline. Oh, that is my tagline, remembering the God in you. I forgot for a second. But yeah, God in you, everything in you. Forget about everything else. Okay. There's a lot of parts to your energy system. There's so much, so much, so much. But this is just one of the things. And this is a very basic thing to know if you're into spiritual hygiene, if you're into calibrating your energy in a way where your body, mind, soul work in tandem instead of fighting each other all the time. So good to know, good tool to have, good tool to use. And with time, as your brain acclimates to this information, you'll find it easier to spot problems within your own body. You can look at things that are happening in your life and you can recognize the blockage that you have. You can work on it, you can write about it, cry it out, journal it out, meditate on it, sweat it out. You can do some sort of ritual, you can do anything you want to heal it, and then that energy clears up and then you see changes in your external world. And I'm not just saying this from a very woo woo spiritual, oh, do this and this will happen sort of perspective. I'm saying this from a very, very, very real life lived experience over the course of 5 6 years. And you have no reason to trust me, and I'm telling you to not trust me. I'm telling you to go do your own work and find out on your own time. Find out, work with yourself enough to get to know yourself. In the beginning, it might feel like your body is not saying anything, but that's because it's been silent for so long. You haven't been listening to it for so long. Give yourself the time and patience to get to know your energy, because your energy is the unconscious code that your life is running like a script on, your external reality is running on. You're creating it by the second. So if your vessel, your body, if all of this is not working in harmony and in tune with each other, every aspect of it, you will often find that the external world becomes difficult and very tedious to navigate. There's also one more thing that I want to touch upon, which is energy work, but I will make another video about it. But recognizing what pains in your body mean what and how to fix it, all of that, like it's a whole separate topic. But just to give you a little faith, if you trust me by watching my videos, or if you just have even one little tiny speck of faith in me, I have been practicing quantum healing for the last 5 6 years. It accidentally started during COVID when I was running a fever and my family wanted to take one and my family wanted me to take a medicine and I did not want to. So I was in my room and I was running a fever and I was just like, give me an hour and then I'll take it if it doesn't go away. And then I did the energy work and the fever never returned. And since then, I've been doing it to heal my body wherever it's paining, whatever blockage there is, because you have to understand that energy is your body. Your body is just very densely packed energy. It is just heavier, denser matter and energy. But if you resolve things on the energy and the invisible side of it, the physical pain goes away like this. I've become fairly practiced in this, so I do it for friends, for family, for strangers even sometimes. But it's come to a point where if something is hurting in my body, it usually takes me about 2 to 3 minutes to remove that pain. And I mean, when I say remove, I mean like gone, like never to return, gone. I once did it for a friend and they had their jaw open for 5 minutes. They could not believe that their pain had actually gone. One example of this is when women store weight in their lower belly, and I have been victim to that. And I started shedding a lot of weight very easily and very quickly when I realized what the specific energy triggers and blockages were. That area carries guilt, shame, anger, policing, a lot of shrinking yourself for other people to feel comfortable. So when you work on that, you will start to lose weight like this. Like, again, you don't have to believe me, but try it out. But yeah, point is, you don't have to be a Reiki practitioner. I am, but you don't have to be, in order to know your body enough and work with it enough and to show up for it in a way that the body knows that you are taking care of it, and you know how to calibrate your energy. Now, I keep saying these words, but very simple terms, what it means is you go to the gym to make your physical body fitter, you go to therapy to deal with mental health problems. But what about your soul? What about the energetic part of you? What about the consciousness? There is not much quantifiable research that's unfortunately done, but there is a lot, and there is enough for you to assimilate, enough for you to work with yourself enough. And I will die on this hill that you don't need any knowledge or any ancient text or any new age research to tell you what your body already knows. You just have to spend time with yourself long enough. All in all, one little activity for you to do today: take 5 minutes, go lie down somewhere, shut your eyes, few deep breaths in out, and try diaphragmatic breathing and not chest breathing. When you inhale, your belly should be the one expanding, not your chest. Okay, do that couple of rounds. Ask your body, can you please show me where the blockages are? Where am I holding on to energy that needs to be let go of? What needs to be released? Please show me. Sounds stupid until it works. Okay, fuck around and find out. That's my advice. Do that. Now, for the first couple of times, you may or may not get anything. Do it enough, like practice it every day. Something will come up for sure. Now, if there's a specific part of your body which feels tight, which hurts, which is tingling or throbbing, that is something that you need to keep an eye out for. Or if you get images of a specific situation, person, thing, job, anything at all, take note of it. Like, it'll be difficult, but don't let your conscious brain wake up during that part. Tell it to shut up and just go to the side, okay, for 5 minutes. Whatever comes up, let it be. Don't analyze it, don't overthink it, don't try to make sense of it until you are out of that state, meditative state. Okay, after you are done, then sit with what you've come up with and see. Come back to this video if you need to. Go to Google and search for XYZ problem with chakra, whatever. See where those blockages lie and see how all of that is reflecting. See how all of that is reflecting in your external reality. One more side note that I want to give is that your body and mind, like your conscious waking self, they have a symbiotic relationship with your energy, with chakras. Okay, so that means if you work on your chakras and your blocks and your energy blockages, your body and your mind will release those things overnight. I'm not kidding. I mean, you have no reason to believe me. I could give you 1,000 stories about how I have woken up one day to the next and things have completely shifted in my life. But that's for you to find out, because the fun and the faith, most importantly, lies in the practice, in the experimentation, in the you trying it out. I can say all of this all day long. Doesn't matter until you actually sit down and do the work yourself. Okay. So, yeah, if you work on the energy, body mind resolves. If you work on the body, energy resolves. That means if you eat, suppose, fruits of a specific color with the intention of healing the blockage in that specific chakra because they have specific colors, helps apparently. If you do like the yoga, the pranayams, the kriyas for that specific chakra, helps because it's supposed to. So, delicate balance, you will figure it out. I believe in you. Try it out, see how it works for you. So, all I'm saying is there's a lot to you, bro. There's so much to you. And it would be such a shame to go through life and die not knowing one entire aspect of yourself, which is your energy. You can do all the journaling, you can do all the writing, you can go to the gym enough times and get to know your body and mind. But your soul is so very powerful, because once you get to work on energy and have the ultimate experience of unlocking that literal side quest and that little another journey in itself. When you do that, your body will improve, your mind will improve for sure, but your world, your reality, the way you experience your senses, the colors get brighter, sounds get more interesting, life gets more fluid. Just getting to know that aspect of yourself is a trip in itself. But I hope you start somewhere, at least, or not, up to you. Anyway, parting message is trust yourself. That's it. Bye.